Ooh, boy. I think it's time we had a little chat. Look, before I start, I just want to say that this probably all could have been avoided with a single phone call. Now, if you know me, you know I can be one of, if not the world's biggest pain in the ass. Look, I've worked with tons of people over the last 6 years, and some people like working with me, some people don't. It is what it is. I've been fired from jobs, passed over for jobs. These things happen, okay? It's part of owning a business. I have never been f***ed over by a client over a year after completing work for them until now. Look, it's okay if you don't like me. Honestly, I couldn't care less. But this is stealing. And unfortunately for you, you stole from me. And now, since you're avoiding my calls, texts, emails, I have to lay out my case the only way that a filmmaker knows how, by telling my story on camera. And I've got emails, and I've got text messages, and oh yeah, all of the raw footage of you talking about other people in your industry. Oh, and by the way, the lawsuit gets filed Monday. So, let's begin, shall we? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Nick Williams Show. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that we can build up the community of videographers and we can help defend and protect and everything, filmmakers, blah, blah, blah. Subscribe. It's super important. It's the only way that I'm able to continue keep making content for you guys. I'm a little all over the place today, and I'm a little emotional. And I just want to clarify that there are certain things that I am not going to do, okay? I just want to make sure that everybody's aware, because for legal purposes and for, a whole bunch of different reasons, I am not going to drag this client's name. I could say a lot of things, but I think that, by saying things about this client's appearance or the way that she acts or the fact that she was part of a cult or the fact that she unknowingly, supposedly, allegedly drugs her clients. These things could get me in trouble, and I don't have proof. I have testimony from other people that have worked with her or that know her, that work in her industry, that she drugs people. And I could go into all of that, but I'm not going to, because I don't have proof of it, and saying it is with her name, which I'm not going to say. I could say it, but I'm not going to say it. It could be a whole worse situation, which I don't want. I'm not going to attack her appearance. I'm not going to say that she works in the beauty industry, but that she's 700 pounds, or that she has a hairline that's so far back you could land a plane on her forehead. I could say all of that stuff. I'm just not going to. So I don't want to misconstrue anything just because she stole money from me, just because I did work for her and then she decided to take money back from me over a year after I completed the work. I'm not going to say things that are rude or inappropriate. I'm just going to lay out the facts. And what happened is, in February of last year, I was hired to do some videography work for this woman to do promotional videos for her company in Boston. Okay, and this is a woman who loudly and proudly says that she is one of the most expensive people in her industry. She's done multiple podcast episodes with multiple different people saying that she, does over $100,000 in business in a month, doing, treatments on people that cost $100 or $99 or whatever it is. So she's very used to taking money, whether she deserves it or not. Basically, I set up a time to do footage. Not only did she delay the production over a month, and I told her, I said, listen, the further we get into the year, the longer there's going to be with delays. But we did a whole shoot, and then her employee that she had working for her quit, and she decided that was no good, but didn't want to pay for additional reshoots or anything like that. No problem. I'll go back. I'll help out. I'll do what I can. Essentially, this took place. The initial consultation was in February of 2024. We initially said that we were going to do our shoot for 2 days in April. Well, that got pushed to May. And then I'm going to accept some responsibility here for a problem. There was a problem with the audio with one of the testimonial interviews, and we had to bring somebody back to do a reshoot. So the third day, I said, okay, I'll come back. I'll do this stuff. But in between there, she had an employee, quit. And that was a full day worth of treatment shoots, was to showcase this new employee that she had. And the employee broke up with the boyfriend or something 3-4 days after we did the shoot and quit. And so now we can't use any of that footage because this chick doesn't work for her anymore. So what are you going to do? Client didn't want to pay extra funds, and apparently I am supposed to just start working for free because something else happened to this woman. You know, maybe it's funny. On the day of the shoot, the first day, at the end of it, she's like, oh, if you have an extra minute, we should go grab a drink. I'm really not a big drinker, but like, you know, maybe there'd be food involved. Okay, fine, I'll show up, I'll go. You know, I go, we're sitting there, I have another appointment that I have to get to, and we're sitting there at the restaurant, and she starts telling me how she was part of a cult, how this is real stuff. I'm going, oh, okay. What does that have to do with the video I'm making for you? I don't get it. She was duped into being part of this cult, and then I'm like, oh, okay. And then she starts telling me how she hasn't. I can't believe it. I shouldn't even say this, Mom. If you ever say this, I'm sorry, but this is what happened. It is what it is. This is what happened. So not only does this woman work in the beauty industry, she also is supposedly, I haven't seen any credentials, by the way, but she also supposedly is a licensed sex therapist for couples. Great. Well, the video that we're making has nothing to do with sex therapy, okay? But she continues talking to me about this. I'm like, okay, great. And then in the next sentence, she starts telling me how she hasn't had sex in 5 years. Now, here's the thing. Imagine for a second if me, as a video professional, filmmaker, videographer, whatever the hell you want to call me, okay? I don't even care at this point. Let's say that me as a video professional, let's say I don't even own a camera, okay? And for 5 years, I'm going around telling people that I do video work. And they go, great, do you got a reel? Do you got a YouTube channel? Do you have anything or whatever? And I can't even produce anything because I don't even own a camera. Can you fucking imagine? Can you imagine if that was the case? So I'm thinking to myself, so you're giving advice to people and charging people money for sex therapy, and you've been abstinent for 5 years. Okay. And she's like, yeah, well, the last time that I had an experience it was really traumatic. It was really bad. I go, oh, okay, that's unfortunate. And then stupid me trying to be nice, I go, well, what happened? Wrong move. Red flag number 1 on my part. On my part. Don't ask questions about what happened. She continues by telling me how she was in California. This was 5, 6, 7 years ago. By the way, she's got kids that are like, as it turns out, look, here's the bottom line. Okay, so she said she was in California and that she had a wild night out doing coke, and she was snorting lines of coke off of one of this random guy she met at a bar's dick. So she's snorting coke off the dick of the guy, and I'm sitting here. Now, we've already gone under agreement. She's already made payments. This is after the first shoot day, while she's sitting there at a restaurant with me, drinking, going, yeah, you know, I don't really drink that much. I'll take another one. I'll have another. Yeah, that's round 2. It's like this full, the drink that she has. She's like, yeah, I'll do another one. We'll just keep coming. I'm thinking I have an appointment that I have to go to after this. But okay, that's fine. Take another drink. That's good. Sip. Drink it up. No problem. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this. She's telling me how she's snorting lines of coke off of some random guy's cock in Los Angeles. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the fuck did I get myself into? But whatever. The shoot is halfway over and we got to come back the next day to do it again. So I'm texting my next appointment. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm stuck with a client. I'm sorry. I can't come out right now. No problem. And then God comes in to try and save the day. And I love God. God's a great guy. God's the only reason that I'm still in business right now. God decides that he's going to, wring out the old towel over us, and it starts to rain. We're sitting outside in Boston in May, okay? So we're sitting there. It starts to rain, and I'm like, oh no. Oh, okay. If you want me to get, she's like, no, I'll pay for it, no problem. Then there's a bar that's attached to this restaurant. It's right inside there. Why don't we go in there? And I'm like, okay, quickly, we can, because I got a thing. Oh, come on. All right, fine. I'll go in the bar. I go in the bar. We're sitting there. She starts hitting on the bartender, who, by the way, if I got to be honest with you, the bartender's like 60. He's like a very nice gentleman. He's supposed to be a bartender. He's supposed to be very personable. She starts hitting on the bartender, asking where he's from, and she's a white lady. But let me just tell you, because I think she was married at one point to some guy of Hispanic descent. Okay, so she's the kind of white lady that we're sitting there at the bar and she starts hobbling. You know what I mean? She's not speaking Spanish. She doesn't speak, not speaking English. She's doing like the Spanglish thing. Hola, de donde eres? And the guy is looking at her going, "You want a fucking drink or what? What are we doing? What are we doing here, lady?" Clearly she's already drank too much. I'm sitting there going, are you good to drive? I'm fine. No problem. I'm fine. I'm okay. 3 days later, she texts me and says that the employee quit. And I'm like, well, are we able to use that footage still? Are we not able to use that footage? You don't know. And I told her, I said, listen, some of these client testimonials that we've done, because we did interviews with client testimonials, I said, I need before and after photos, ones that show a dramatic change based on the way that you've helped these people. So if you have before photos, she goes, I take before photos of everybody. I take before photos of people even before they're my client. I walk around taking photos of ugly people and say, you should be my client, so that I can take after photos. But I take the photo first. She has all these photos. She's telling me she has reams of photos of before photos of people. And I'm like, great. Okay, good shit. And I also need like digital assets, like your logo, and I need other stuff like that. No problem. I'll get them to you. It's not even a big deal. Okay, great. That's good. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Can't wait to see this stuff. We shot in May. She didn't get me anything until the end of September. The end of September. And then started demanding that I get her these videos. Became extremely hostile. Threatened legal action against me. You'll be hearing from my attorney. All of this other stuff. Oh, by the way, when she did get me these before and after photos, we did 8 client testimonial interviews. And they were fantastic, by the way. The clients were awesome. These people were really, it was nice of them to show up. Very expensive, clientele. They're high end. They're all very good looking people. Right? Perfect. Exactly what you want for advertising and for marketing stuff, right? Not the actual client. She wasn't that great, quite frankly. I almost broke the lens of my camera. Be that as it may, we end up with some great footage. The best footage that I could possibly give this woman based on the tight budget that she already had, even though she's explaining to me that she makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a month for, I guess, fake sex therapy, and maybe she's trying to bring people into her cult. I don't know. Maybe she recruits people for a living. Who fucking knows? I don't know. At this point, I really don't know. So she tells me she's got photos out the wazoo. December 4th, she sends me 3 photos. Hey, Nick, this is the best I can do for before and afters. I'm redoing my website in January, so if I could get the finished videos before the end of the year, that would be great. You've given me nothing of what I've asked for. Nothing. You gave me 3 photos. I don't even know if these photos are of people that we did interviews with. She gave me random before and after photos. How the hell am I supposed to have an interview of a person that said, I used your services and look how beautiful I am, and here's what I look like before, and I show a random person? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. So she gave me, and this is not news, okay? This is not brand new stuff. Like, she knew, because we've been talking about this since fucking February, dude. February. She knew what she needed to give me. She didn't give it to me. Now she wants finished videos before the end of the year. She's been delaying for months getting me the stuff that I need. And then right at the end of the year, at December, she goes, well, now that I'm giving you some from random photos, and now I need you to give me the videos. Okay. First of all, no. Okay, number 1, no. Number 2, I said, hi, thanks. Sorry about that. I said, hi, client. Thanks for getting those to me. I'm a little surprised that we only have before and afters for 2 people. I was told during the shoot that everyone who was interviewed would have before and afters. That was in May. Then I asked again for photos in September, and this is the first time you provided anything. It's frustrating, to say the least, since now I will have to re-edit the videos in a way that isn't based around the before and after photos. We're already into December, and with the holidays and everything else going on, it may be difficult to get them to you by the end of the year. I'll keep you posted. Thanks. I have no This is her response. This is her response. This is her response. It's a wild response, and I said after this response, I said, I'm out. I said, I'm out. I'm not going to do it after this response. I said, I have no memory. Or she said, excuse me. She said to me, I have no memory of you asking for that. You have been fully paid with hours of footage. Yeah, that's what you paid me for, was for the hours of footage in May. Now you want me to restructure, re-edit, redo videos completely contrary to everything that we agreed to in February. It's now December. Okay. You have been fully paid with hours of footage. Get the videos done, or you will hear from my attorney. That's a lie. She said, get the videos done, or you'll hear from my lawyer. Okay. Anyway, so in December, she threatens legal action against me, and I said, hey, listen, you haven't provided me with anything that I've asked for in order to complete the project that I was hired to do. I'm going to step away. And not only am I going to step away from the project, I'm going to provide you, and I have proof. I have the text. In fact, I'll read you the breakup text I sent. I said, client name, redacted. After going over all of our communications, I have decided to step away from this project. Since our first meeting in February, remember, look at the date on the text. Bing! The date on the text is December 4th. December. Since our first meeting in February. It was supposed to be a 2-day shoot. 2 days. You get some B-roll, you do some interviews, you give me the before and after photos, you give me some digital assets, I give you a video. You put it on your website, you tell people, I had a great experience. New. December 4th, since our first meeting in February, I have made it very clear that I have multiple clients, multiple projects going on at the same time, and that scheduling is paramount in order to get these things done in a timely manner. Since you were a referral from a friend, I gave you 2 separate discounts on my services. Our shoot was in May. I also have it in writing that on September 28th, at 11:27 a.m., I requested before and after photos of the clients that were filmed in May. Is this shocking to anybody? I am happy to provide screenshots of this correspondence since you, quote, have no memory. Well, I hope you remember now, because here's the memory for everybody to see. Here's the memories. Oh, the memories. I have been nothing but polite and professional to you throughout this entire process. You have called and complained about personal matters, looked for advice on parenting and relationships, for what reason I may never know or understand. I said that. That's really funny, actually. You texted me and accused me. Oh, that's the other thing. We had to do the reshoot because there was an audio problem with one of the interviews. So back on July 20th, she called me and I didn't answer the phone because I was busy living my life. She goes, July 31st is confirmed on our end. Can you confirm? I said, yes, confirmed. Apologies for the lack of response. My phone was in the other room. She goes, you were having sex. LOL. I go, I was not. Like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? How is that a professional thing to say to somebody? So in the final response message, I said, you have called and complained about personal matters, looked for advice on parenting, relationships, for what reason I may never know or understand. You texted me and accused me of having sex instead of getting back to you in a timely manner. And now, when you provide a couple of low-quality, dark photos of 2 out of 8 clients that we shot interviews for, you expect me to put everything else on hold and recreate an entirely new package of videos, including needing to work around footage of employees that have quit working for you since the shoot, and you have threatened legal action if I don't comply with your demands. If everything stayed the same as what we initially agreed to, and had you provided the materials requested in a timely manner, you'd have your videos already. They'd be done. You would have them. It's December. We shot in May. We talked in February. This is a full year project for a 2-day shoot. This is ridiculous. The amount of additional work I will have to do for this project far exceeds the amount you have paid so far. Additionally, I have heard from other people that you are complaining about me to other business owners within your industry, trying to keep me from getting work in this industry. Let me tell you something. I got no fucking problem. Okay? I got plenty of clients. I got plenty of people. And the funny thing is, when they tell me that you were bitching about me, they end up saying things like, yeah, she's off her fucking rocker. She's a druggie. She drugs people. Okay? This is what other people are saying to you. They go, yeah, did you hear what this crazy Looney Tunes said? And I'm like, no, I didn't hear. I don't really care. I don't really care what she said. She was in a cult. You could land a plane on her forehead. I said, I'm not going to say that. 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 This needs to stop immediately. I will create a link with all footage from your shoot by Friday, December 6th, 2024. The link will be sent both via text message and email so that there is no confusion as to whether or not you received the link. You will have until Friday, December 31st. Until Friday, December 13th, which is 7 business days, at 5 p.m. to download the footage, store it on your own. After that, the footage will be deleted from my hard drives. If I continue to hear negative comments about me, my business, the work I provide, etc., I will absolutely sue you for defamation. I will. It's not my fault that people don't like working for you. It's not my fault that you can't get your shit together. It's not my fault that you charge people hundreds of thousands of dollars and provide services to them, and then I guess what would happen? What would happen if you did your services to people and then a year later they clawed back all of the money? I hope that doesn't happen to you. You know, like what happened to me from you. I hope that doesn't happen. I really don't. I really, really don't. I really don't have. I hope that doesn't happen to you. Anyway, after that footage will be deleted from my hard drive. You know what's funny? I didn't delete them. I didn't delete the footage. I still have the footage. I have all the footage. You were mic'd up. I do find it interesting that these professionals talk so much shit about each other. Moral of the story is make sure you get everything in writing. And, you know, it's very difficult because you want to be nice to people. You want to be professional. You don't think that there's ever going to be an issue with anybody. And sometimes when you want to be nice to people and you do have a contract for them to sign or you have some form of paperwork, they go, oh, wow, this is a lot. And you go, yeah, this is a lot. And so, you know, I want to apologize to my other clients in advance about the onslaught of paperwork that you will now be receiving from me. It's directly due to this 600-pound cult woman and the fact that she is clawing back money from me. Now, it is what it is. I would go into it more, but I can't go into it more. I have other appointments and I have other things that I have to do. But I just want everyone to know that the next step is court. It's a pain, but I will absolutely be going to court to get my money back. I will absolutely be bringing video footage, whether that's on a laptop or I'll be bringing other stuff because I have proof that I did the work. I have all the correspondence. I have the emails. I have everything. This is just a pain. And she might not even show up. But I'm going to get a court order now to get my money back because I did do the work. And I'm a small business trying to be a bigger business. And I can't do that if I do work for free. And I definitely can't do that if money gets clawed back. So if this person wants to continue microdosing mushrooms to people without their consent, that's fine. That's fine. It's not, I mean, I'm not going to go get microdosed, you know what I mean? But apparently that's something that she does, allegedly. Allegedly, this is what I've heard. If she wants to continue showing up to do podcasts with dirty clothes and greasy hair and charging people hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, she's more than welcome to. I don't think that that's necessarily appropriate. I'm sitting here in a giant room by myself in a suit because I think that the way I present myself is extremely important, and I'm a big fat guy. You know what I mean? So from one fatty to another, I think that maybe you should think a little bit more, especially since you're in the beauty industry, for God's sake. You should think a little bit more about the way that you look because, God almighty, there's a lot of work to do. You are a walking before photo. It's really, truly unbelievable. And that's okay. That's okay. Not everybody is genetically blessed. You certainly are not. You are in the category of people that are not. And that's okay. That's all right. That's probably why you didn't want to do the interview footage. But it's getting warm in here, and I need to go and finish filing this lawsuit. I will keep everybody updated. Make sure you subscribe. But I just wanted to make sure that I kept this video professional, and I didn't name names, and I didn't make fun of anyone who didn't deserve to be made fun of. You know, it's like the clients didn't do anything wrong. I showed up and I was there. The employee that quit, I understand why you quit. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have quit. In fact, I'm saying I wish you had quit sooner so that I could have taken video that didn't involve you so that this didn't happen, but it's not your fault. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. But this person steals money from people, and I'm going to absolutely take you to court. Now, here's the kicker. Here's where we go from here. If I don't get my fucking money back, that means that I own the footage. And that means that I can then present the footage in a follow-up episode where I can show the world just how fucking disgusting and gross this person is. And all of the raw footage, because you know me. Well, if you don't know me, I'll tell you about me right now. It's me. I press record, and I just let it roll. And I have tons and tons and tons of footage of her complaining about the way she looks and about other people. And there's audio on everything constantly. And we can talk about the cult some more. We can figure that out. We can talk about the fact that, you know, she showed up to do a podcast that I was producing and talked about how she was picking up random dudes for sex and then basically slandering them. I mean, I have so much information that I could just rip, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I was hired to provide a service. She altered what the service was supposed to be. She had employees quit and didn't want to follow up with additional things. These things are not my fault. The employee quitting is not my fault. Having to do additional video shoots is not my fault. You hired me. I understand and you want to walk away, but I provided a service. I even offered you the raw footage, and you decided in your fucked up, ridiculous mind that even though I provided the service, even though I provided the link, even though I provided the way for you to retain all of the footage that I had given to you, you decided that wasn't good enough. You now don't want... See, here's the thing. I don't give a fuck if you want the footage or not. I did the service, which means you pay for the service. And that'll come out in court. That'll come out in court. And I haven't dragged your name yet, but I have every intention of doing so. And I'm sorry that you can't get your shit together. It is what it is. Maybe you should try Jenny Craig or Curves or Weight Watchers or something. It'll make you feel better if you lose a little bit of weight. I've lost 60 pounds. I used to be a big, giant, fat f***, similar to you. But now I'm just a little fat f***. Now I'm just a svelte fat f***. Still fat, just not as fat. Not nearly as big, quite honestly. Put two of me next to each other, and then we're getting into the range of you. But honestly, I wish you all the best. I hope you do well for yourself in the future. But I hope every single Boston videographer sees this video, and I hope none of them ever get duped into doing work for you or your evil, twisted way of doing business ever again. Amen. See you next week. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.